Let's kick off. I was just actually very pleased to introduce, or maybe for some of you to reintroduce, another power woman here. And I'm actually very honored to present to you Arabella Seegers. She's a transitional coach and speaker for educated, sensitive, and driven women who find themselves actually at a crossroads in their life. Something I really love to mention too is I'm Dutch, so I'm quite proud that we have another Dutch lady, and I see a second one here in the room, so very good. A little bit about Arabella. Before she started her own coaching practice, she spent almost 20 years working as an IT consultant in leading financial organizations. I really like how she describes her ideal clients herself. She talks about her ideal clients are action-oriented, curious, people, very driven, intelligent, fun, quirky, have life experience, like a challenge, are creative, sensitive, willing to serve, and also willing to commit and invest themselves. In today's session, Arabella will talk about her journey and also help you to discover the superpower to get you more impact, more confidence, and more clients. Welcome, Arabella, and the floor is yours now.
Wow, thank you, Kirsten. What an amazing introduction. Thank you so much. It's good to hear my story back from somebody else. That sounds really amazing. So let me see. I've got a presentation. Let me see if I can, I do share screen, I think, right? And then see what happens. Okay, so, yeah, let me just press that. And so I don't know, can you also see me talking? Yeah? Oh, great. Okay, yes. Great. So it's not just the presentation, that helps. So thank you today for being here and joining me in this talk. I'm really excited. I always get a little excited when I see so many ladies and I get to talk about what I really love to do. And so today I thought about what should I do, and I know we have limited time. Time just flies by. So what I would like to do today is to share something with you that that I'm inspired by a favorite coach of mine, and I greatly admire him, and I would love to share this learning with you. And it's a fun exercise. And I hope you'll join me with it. And I may invite somebody to come on screen with me later on. Yeah, so I think it could be very valuable to you. So let me get the next slide. Kirsten mentioned it, the crossroads, right? It's something that I thought about. What do all my clients have in common? And so many people I speak to all have in common that they're at a crossroads in life, in professional life, in work life, where they've gone down this path their entire life and they've done exactly what people expected them to do. They've done the education, they've gotten the job. And then at a certain point in your life, you know, you've gone through many crossroads, but at a certain point in your life, there comes a moment where you're thinking, well, is this really it? Is this how I want to continue the rest of my life? What's next? You know, something just doesn't feel right. There's got to be more, and I really want to know what else there is, but it's really hard to take that leap. So going down your own path and finding your own way is not so very easy. And what I've come to believe is that we all have this wisdom inside of us. We always seek for answers outside, right? We listen to advice of other people. We talk to other people and say, what should I do? If you're in business, we listen to all the marketing rules. To be successful, you have to do this and this and this and this and this. And at the end of the day, you end up feeling like, well, you know, that just doesn't feel comfortable, but I have to do it, so I will. And I believe that inside, we know a lot better what the right path is for us and it's not always the one that you expect to see. And it's not always going to be easy, but it is your own unique path. So more on that today. So I really believe that we have this wisdom and that we have precious gifts made available to us from the day we were born and that we use in our life. You know, we all have stories in us. We all have a story. It's like a fish in water, like a fish swimming. We're not aware of the water that we swim in. And you go through life from day to day and you seldom stop to think about the big picture, how you got to where you are today, you know? The stories of who you always were, of how you dealt with your biggest challenges, how you survived, they've all shaped you and they've brought you to where they are. And they have all contributed to your unique superpower. And we tend to take for granted what we're good at. We don't really stop to think about it. And it's like the water that we swim in. We just don't realize it. Other people often see what we're good at. Other people see our superpowers, but we often don't. And at the same time, you know, if you know it, if you're aware of it, it's also the key to your impact and your mission and living your purpose. And also to your self-confidence. If you know who you are, if you know yourself really well, it's your key to purpose in life. And it allows you to connect more deeply with your ideal clients, and you can boost your impact. It boosts your confidence, and it becomes a lot easier to do things your way, the way that suits you. Oh my goodness. So I've got a phone call coming in. Who would call me at 9 o'clock in the morning on a Saturday? I'm so sorry. Anyway, so to articulate today what your superpower is, we're going to dive into some major elements of your story to find out what makes up that superpower, right? So we're going to go on a discovery of the thread that runs through your life, and that leads to that superpower. So in a moment, I'm going to invite you to join, one of you to join me on the presentation if you would like, and we could go through your thread, or, well, let's just see where things take us. And first, let me tell you my story. So let me start with this. So imagine in a faraway country in Indonesia, on a weekend, on a Saturday morning, for example, in the tea plantation. I was about 11 years old, and I had been riding a retired racehorse for the past hour. And on the way home, at the top of a steep hill, for some reason, he just bolted and crashed down the hill onto a paved road. There was no way I could stop him. He just went so fast, and I didn't feel strong enough. I was terrified. And at the same time, I thought, well, I'm fairly confident just a little bit down the road is the path to our house, and we'll go down that path and then I'll be okay. All I have to do is just stick onto that saddle and keep on the horse. But instead, he charged past the turn to my house, and he charged down the road. And then I got really, really scared. You see, because on the right-hand side was a rice paddy, and the road led down to that. And at the bottom of the road, there would be a really sharp turn, and it would go down a very, very steep hill, a road full of boulders and rocks. And it would be too slippery. There would be no way that we could actually survive. And on the left hand of that road was a very deep ravine with a dry river full of huge boulders and rocks. So in that moment, I saw my life flash in front of my eyes. And riding alongside that paddy, it was suddenly, and it was just a short distance, but it was as if my life, as if time stood still, as if everything slowed down. And for the briefest moment, I felt this mortal fear, but for the briefest, tiniest moment, something came to me and said, pull on his right rein, pull on the right as hard as you can. And in an instant, that's exactly what I did. I pulled on his right rein, And at first I thought, if I do that, we'll land in the ditch and he'll break his legs and we'll have another accident. But I did it anyway. And all of a sudden he just stopped. He just stopped right there, just before the curve in the road, just before I really believed it, the ride would kill me. He stopped right there. It was, that moment was the first encounter I remember ever having this wisdom inside of me, this knowing what to do, right? And it, as it turned out, it would become a theme that ran through my life. You see, what most people don't know about me is that I grew up feeling lonely and trapped. And I survived literally by imagining that anything was possible. Anything would be possible for me one day. I would have a great future. I would be able to do anything. And that one day I would be free and I could be anything I wanted to be. And when people made fun of me for believing I could get through university, even though my grades were down at school and the school level I was at was too low to even consider an entry, I made it anyway. I made it happen. And later in life, I suffered a burnout that would last 10 years. I felt trapped again, but I still believed there was light at the end of the tunnel. So how I survived, even at a young age, was discovering a new way of seeing the world and this steadfast belief in myself. And it turned out that I got really good at doing that for others. And it's what I did as a corporate IT consultant and leading financial organizations. And it's when I would be called on to lead sensitive and high-risk projects, and high-level experts in their field trusted me, even if it meant that it would greatly affect the way that they worked. So I'm an expert at drawing out trust in people and helping them see what they cannot see and believe in themselves. And it's what I do to this day. And when I help intelligent entrepreneurs believe in themselves and make a real difference, and I help women remember how wise they really are. You see, it doesn't matter whether you're a lonely teenager struggling in times of instability or a leader in your organization. If you spend time with me, you'll see a different outcome and you'll believe in yourself. And decision-making will become easier. Relationships will become better. Your impact will improve and your communication gets better. And if you're running a business from a place of seeing and trust, then you'll not only have a company that makes more impact, you'll also make more money too. And what I've been doing my entire life. So I help women believe in themselves and trust in themselves, and they see what they cannot see before, and they remember how wise they are. And that is a story that each of you has. We all have that impact on other people we're not always aware of. We all can make a change for others. So I would like to, at this point, I would like to invite you. That was the next slide. I would like to invite somebody to join me in a conversation, if you like. And I would like to share with you a couple of elements that help you draw out the story and the thread in your life. So, and I think for the rest of us listening, it's always about, so I'll be talking to somebody else, hopefully, but I'll be talking to all of you. And when you listen to somebody else's story, you never really hear the other person's story. You always hear your own story. So everybody gets something out of it. So I invite you to pick up a pen and get some paper and take notes so you can maybe look back later and think about it. And you're most welcome to share your responses in the chat. I'll see if I can keep them up or come back to them at the end. And let's inspire each other. Let's have some fun. So who's willing to play? Who would like to play with me? Oh, great. I see one hand. Let me see. I can't see your, is it Yvonne? I can't see your name. No, it's not.
No, it's Nongnush.
Hi, Nongnush.
Hi, Arabella.
What a
I don't
beautiful
know
name
what
you
kind
have.
of a story I was going to tell you, but I will play with you.
Oh, great, great. So let me see. I'm trying to think. Maybe I should switch off the presentation. Can everybody see Nongnush and me? Yeah, I think that would be more fun. Let me just, so I'm going to switch off the presentation so that we can see each other. Oh boy. How do I switch off the presentation?
Just stop sharing your screen.
Yeah, I can't find the button.
Usually
share it.
Oh, no, that's not it.
It's usually the bottom part in your screen where you see participants, chat, and the share screen option.
Yeah, on the bottom portion, normally colored green.
Yeah, for some reason, I can't find it. All I can see now is all your pictures.
Well, the same screen, share screen you press before you open your presentation.
Yeah, I get that.
Or reduce the screen.
Just a second, I seem to have lost the screen entirely. Oh, here we are. Stop sharing. Yeah, there we go. Hi, Nongnush. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for being courageous.
I like fun.
Yeah, that's great.
Have fun.
Let's have some fun.
Yes.
So just get to know each other a little bit better. You're in Dubai, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit about yourself. Who are you?
There's no, how to say, any trap, right?
Oh, no, there's no trap. So,
all right. Okay. In Dubai, I am an entrepreneur. I have a business in wellness, health and wellness. And my background is a PhD pharmacist. I graduated from Paris, but I'm originally from Thailand. So I have like kind of global culture in myself. I love that.
yeah, beautiful.
Yes. And I always like to see people from all over the world. I'm part of the international communities from heart. And that is, and like Ashley said, I as well healology practitioner, and just received the World Health Award like last week or 10 days ago for excellence in healology.
Amazing.
Which means it's an art of self-healing. So really we trust our body and our mind to function properly and to stay healthy.
Yeah. Awesome. It's really great to be in such an international community and to meet somebody. And I've been to Thailand myself a couple of years ago. I fell in love with the country. It's beautiful. The people are lovely. So it's an honor to meet you.
Yeah, me too. Are you based in Netherlands?
Yes, I'm based in the Netherlands. I am Dutch, but as a child, I grew up in Southeast Asia mainly. And we traveled the world, also in the US, and I went to American schools. So yeah, I'm international at heart. Yeah. Great. Sisters, right? Yeah. So Nongnush, let me get to know you a little bit better and see where you are. Let me take you back a long time in the past to when you're about 6 years old. Remember what it was like being 6 years old. And
primary school. First of all, primary school, right?
Primary school, right.
Yeah.
So what did you love doing when you were 6 years old? What did you really love doing?
I would say reading. I just saw the picture very quickly, but it's true that I always have a book in my hands.
Yeah.
And my mom called me, you're a bookworm. Because you're always with the book and, by myself reading. I love reading, yes.
Yeah. And what was there anything in particular that you loved reading? Was it any genre or a particular kind of story?
I would say traveling. Traveling, like, you know, at 6 years old, obviously it is not really traveling, adventure, those kind of things, but anything that shows a place or something that I'm not there yet. And it really made me dream of being there.
Yeah.
At 6 years old.
Wow.
Like I saw in what cover page of a book, it was like a big stairs in China, climbing up to a temple on the top of the hill. And I remember I could really stay 5 minutes staring the stairs and imagining myself on that stairs or climbing, you know, it's so long and so high, just get to that temple.
Wow.
It's like, when I think back, I say, oh, that's weird.
That's a very spiritual image, actually.
Really?
Yeah, comes to mind. Was that on the cover of a book, or was that something that you saw in your imagination?
Yeah, it's the cover of my Chinese book, actually.
Yeah.
It's a small booklet like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What brings to mind what I've learned about that image is a desire to grow spiritually. Taking steps up a hill and being at the bottom of a staircase is like a metaphor for climbing up and growing and increasing your spiritual power, seeking knowledge.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
This is the first time I hear such thing, which is like, yeah, very positive for me.
Yeah. So how is that a reflection for you, do you think?
What do you mean by that?
Well, is that something that resonates?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love to learn new things all the time and become better. Yeah. And yeah, I'm always interested in things that I do not know. And I want to get into that. And maybe the most representative of this spirit is that when I arrived in France at 15 years old, I didn't know anything about French at all. And I wanted to go to university in France. And I was never discouraged by the ignorance of the language. The only thing that kept me like really very excited all the time is to penetrate, if I can say that, the world of French language. That I wanted to know everything about it.
So I sense this great hunger, this thirst and hunger and appetite for knowledge and growth. And so you told me you did pharmacy at university, right?
Yes.
Pharmaceuticals. What was it that that determined that choice for you? What was it that made you choose to do that in particular?
Actually, was not really a determination for me. It's my second choice.
Really?
My first choice was to become a doctor. In Thailand, I wanted to become a doctor. But at that time, when I reached the age to go to the university in France, I was not that very strong in French. I did not really trust that my French was good enough. So I said, okay, let's go, maybe my second choice. I didn't want to go for the competition, because in France, to be able to become a doctor, you have after the first year, you need to go through the exam, which is concours is competition, actually. And from 1,000 people, they would take only 200. And so I didn't want to fail the first year and lost my time. So I said, let's go for pharmacy. It must be easier.
Yeah.
And no competition. But too bad for me, it was the first year they set up the competition for pharmacy student too. But I did pass it. That's okay.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And do you remember what your master thesis was about?
The thesis in the pharmacy. I did 2 theses. the one to finish my, you know, like the basic pharmacy,
Mhm.
which was on the herbal medicine, like traditional plant remedies,
Yeah.
which kind of quite exceptional, you know, for a pharmacy student. They would go for drugs and all kind of things.
What made you choose for that? What made you choose for medicinal herbs?
My belief in traditional medicine from
Mm.
Thailand, you know, I grew up a very traditional medicine, Chinese, and in Thailand we are very rich in herbal plants.
Mhm.
So I have a very strong belief about that. And actually, my thesis was on how do you call it? Cataplasm. Is that in English too? Cataplasm is a kind of how you say it, a mixture of powder that you apply on the skin to
Ah.
reduce the inflammations. And that is a French cataplasm. It's like traditional French remedy. I did my small thesis on that one. And my PhD thesis was on an experimental model of mice of a cancer.
Ah.
And I treated the mice with the drug that we developed in the lab.
Wow, that's so interesting.
Yeah. A lot of adventures. Yeah.
A lot of adventures. So tell me, in all those adventures, and I get that it must not have been easy. So my question is, when you look back at your life, what is one thing that you've struggled with your whole life?
Personally, sure.
Personally or professionally? Yeah, sure.
Struggling my whole life, probably being recognized.
Mm.
And always, I'm really, I'm playing the game like, you know, just to play the right game. I know I'm good because I have always been the first in class in Thailand and afterwards because I exceeded my competition of the first year as a 13 out of 250, I think.
Mm-hmm.
I was ordered 13 as a foreigner student.
Yeah. Yeah.
But 13 among the French too. So at that time, I was like proud of myself, and I have always been good in what I do. But I struggle with feeling.
Mm.
Maybe I'm recognized because I had scholarships and many rewards, but feeling recognized is another thing. Interesting, huh?
I like how you say that because sometimes something can be one way. We know something, but we know at the same time, if you don't feel it in your heart, it's like it's not true, right? So people can tell you to your face how wonderful and amazing your achievements and how valuable and everything. But if you don't feel it in your heart, then it's hard to believe.
And I have been struggling about that all the time. And my husband kept pointing me to my face. You know, it's like, come on, all the time.
Yeah.
I'm fortunate that somebody is reminding me all the time of my own craziness, I would say.
Yeah. So do you ever feel that they have something, there is something called an imposter syndrome. Have you heard of that?
Kind of, but
a lot of
yes, yeah.
Yeah, a lot of people who are very successful, even movie stars in Hollywood, who are very successful and the world, you know, adores them and they keep winning award after award after award. At the same time, they feel like it's just momentarily and that it's just small and the joy of excelling somehow just fades very quickly and they always fear being found out. Is that something that sounds familiar? So you know that you're very successful, but at the same time, you fear that maybe someday somebody's going to find out that you're not so great or that you feel vulnerable.
Yeah, sometimes, yes. Sometimes.
Yeah.
But like I take the success as like, when it's my own success, I take this very lightly, you know?
Yeah.
Whereas when it's the success of other people, I'm always very excited about it,
Mm.
but not enough for myself, actually, strangely.
Yeah. And so on the other side, you've mentioned it a little bit, but what if I ask you, what are you really proud of? What is one thing that you're really proud of?
My compassion to people
Ah,
and my patience with people too. I think I can understand people, I can listen to their stories, and I can really go into their heart and feel the pain or the anger, or the anxiety, but without myself going into the situation. Like
mm,
it's strange, I can really understand and feel the pain of people, but I don't suffer from that pain at the same time, like kind of distant but not distant. And I believe, my belief is that maybe it's related to my Buddhist background,
mhm.
which, you know, compassion is really the basics of that.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe.
Yeah. And what would you say is your biggest accomplishment?
Oh, my family, my boys.
Yeah.
And I have three boys like Cardena, actually. When I see your pictures, you see three big guys of the mixed culture, Arabic and Asian. And my boys are like that too.
Ah,
Yes, my husband is Lebanese. So, yeah. So it's that I once they're grown up and they found their job and I said, okay, my life is done.
mhm. Your mission is done.
My
Mission
mission is done. I can die tomorrow. That's okay.
Mm,
Really, I feel that. But it is not. It's not. I say it's not a very pleasant feeling, right? When you feel, oh, okay, now I have finished my life. Actually,
yeah.
I needed to go to a workshop to find my why. I said, oh,
Wow.
what's next?
Yeah.
I
So
need to
what-
have something that they just hold me alive and keep excited about why I'm here today. Still.
So what is your why? Would you like to share that with us?
Okay, my why is to create and develop a community of people who support each other for health and happiness, so that each of them could feel loved and valued. And there was a result of a workshop actually that lasted like 3 days plus follow up. I was kind of surprised myself, but as well reassured. When we find our why, we are reassured. And we know every day when we wake up what we want to do, what we like to do.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, you know, because you're a transformational coach, what I wanted to learn today, being here with you all, actually is to transform my that need of being recognized all the time, which is very annoying. Really, I mean, I think I'm doing a good job, and people keep telling me that, but I'm annoyed because of myself. I do not feel, you know, this feeling, and it's like you said, we need to feel it from inside, right? That feeling.
Yeah. So let me just respond to that off the top of my head, just a sidetrack. You mentioned one of your qualities is the ability to have compassion for other people, right?
Mhm.
And I also wrote down empathy. You're very compassionate for other people. You have empathy.
Mhm.
So let me ask you this: how compassionate are you for yourself?
I want to. I try to. I'm working on that too.
Yeah, I
Every
think
day.
I think that's one of the keys that we tend to we have, and actually, and I'd love to talk to you about that more. because we have a lot of voices in our head. We have a lot of saboteurs telling us all the stuff that we don't want to hear and putting us down. And if you develop self-compassion, you become like your own best friend, right? So it's easy to be compassionate for others, and when somebody's in a bad place, to help them, to build them up, and to be there beside them and help them move forward and tell them how wonderful they are. But it's really hard to be compassionate for yourself. It's really hard to be your own best friend. And if you're not feeling well, or if you feel like you failed something, to actually tell yourself, well, you're human, you're having a human experience, and it's okay. You don't have to be perfect all the time. So I think the key would be to be more compassionate to yourself. And if you enjoy reading, I'm sure you do, there's a book by Kristen Neff, and she is a PhD on self-compassion. The book is called Self-Compassion. She is the authority on self-compassion. And she writes about how, what that looks like, what the elements of self-compassion are, and how you can cultivate that within yourself. So I recommend that as a read to get you started.
Thank you. Thank you. Can you afterwards, or yeah, maybe afterwards, put it in the chat so we can all see.
Neff. Got it in the chat. Self-compassion.
Okay.
There you go.
Kristen Neff.
Right. But you're welcome to if you want to talk about that some other time, please, we can have a chat and we can go into that a little bit more deeply, and I can help you get to know a little bit more about self-compassion. So just to round this off, just one last question.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think people appreciate you for?
Oh my God. For my energy, I would say. I'm kind of easygoing, and I don't know. When I meet strangers or people I don't know, usually they feel good being with me, and I think they like my energy. I don't know what they like actually, but I guess.
Actually, that it's really helpful, and also for your self-compassion, to in the future maybe approach some people that through work, your family, friends. Pick about 5 or 6 people and ask them, what do you appreciate about me?
Yes.
And ask them, what do you think I'm really good at?
Yeah, that's a great idea. I never ask.
Yeah, just ask. You'll be surprised to hear the answers.
Okay.
Yeah. So thank you for sharing all this information and your story. Thank you so much. And as you were telling the story, so the picture that I get from you is, this is my impression, right? You have this really soft energy, the soft, warm, welcoming energy, very caring and nurturing, and highly intelligent. And you were telling me about how you've got a multicultural background, actually, and you have a very deep curiosity for knowledge, a thirst for knowledge, and this incredible drive. And when I was listening to your story and all that you were telling me, one thing came up with me. And I really wonder how this is going to resonate with you. Let me tell you. I see in you a medicine woman.
Medicine woman?
Medicine woman.
Well, that is really, how you say, elogieux, like it's a compliment from me. Ashley, thank you. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's and the medicine woman that I have in my mind, and this is also it's what I see is a woman with a very motherly and caring nature. who knows the secrets of healing, the secrets of knowing what will make you feel better, not only physically, but will make you feel mentally better, will make you, the secrets of knowing how to make you feel comfortable and come close to yourself. So I think that's your power, that you have this ability to soak up so much knowledge and translate that into something that you give others to help others feel better, to help others heal, to help others regain their balance.
Such a nice word, such nice words from me. Thank you, Arabella.
How does that land with you?
It resonates really, because when I started to really practice the healology and actually know what it's all about, we listen to the people's stories of emotions actually, and help them to find the root cause of their health conditions or issues, chronic issues that they struggle for a long time. And in terms of conventional medicine, there was nothing for them. Like I had a friend of 10 years, infectious sinusitis, nothing could help her. And when I found out like I could really help people to heal from their chronic conditions, I said to Dr. Hanan, the founder of the healology, that's it, that's me.
Yeah.
I felt like, wow, this is me, this is what I love to do. And it just brings me so much happiness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's your tremendous power with which you can help other people. So your ability to heal others from everything that you know, and with your experience and combining traditional medicine and all that knowledge, it comes from your culture, everything that you grew up with, everything that you learned in university. That's your superpower, to help other people feel comfortable, feel better, become more healthy. So if people work with you, they will be in a better place after that.
I love the medicine woman that you just said it. Yeah. It is really, it's me actually. I think it's very me. Thank you very much.
Thank you too. Thank you too. Yeah. Thank you. So we're coming to the end almost, and I can, are there any questions anybody has, or anything that they would like to share, or a comment for me, or? Is there anybody who had any discovery of their own, maybe an insight listening to this story? How has, I'm sorry, your Nongshu? Oh, Nongnush. No, sorry, it's a bit difficult name.
That's okay.
Asli, you raised your hand. Go ahead.
Well, Arabella, I would like to shout out my admiration once more to you, because you have got this ability to read people in less than half an hour, because I spent long time with Noosh. I was very blessed. And if there was one word I would like to say about her, would be medicine woman, 101%. And just like I spent one private session with you, and you remember you said me 2 words, which I am so thankful to you. I told you in the return what happened to me literally. And I don't know, but I would like to say, you are such a talent to read a personality and summarize it in 1 word. And really, Noosh, she's a medicine woman. She is absolutely, anything you said, I was always trying to say, because I long sentences I use, but you have just summarized it. Admirations to you. I truly can't, I don't know what to say to you. I have to find one word to you, but I'm literally going to write an A4 about you.
Thank you, Ashley. You're very generous. Thank you so much for your
And Noosh, you are medicine woman. Now I'm tagging medicine woman Noosh in all my social media now.
I think I'm gonna use it as my brand actually. Would
That
you
is
allow me?
perfect. That is
Oh.
perfect because Noosh have you know, in Hilology we were assisting each other, and she is really a woman who healed many people apart from herself. Also, she's very humble, not to say it loud, but there were things that I was trying to understand, and she is more medical based. So I was, in a point, I was a little bit confused, and she was telling me my missing points, not making me feel I am missing them, but so politely putting like a cream on me, like, you understand, like not telling that I am not understanding it, but making empathy and making me feel that it is such normal to not to understand it. You understand? So she was lifting me up, but I was not feeling I am lifting up. I was feeling I am climbing the stairs. So this is so good what you have told about her, and it was again wonderful to listen to you, Arabella. No, thank you.
It was beautiful to witness Nusha's secret powers. So let me share my screen once again, and let me press the button. And so these are some of the questions, just for your reference. These are some of the questions that we went through. You can take a note of them and try them out for yourself and see what is the story that you come up with. What have you struggled with your whole life? That's really important, because what you struggle with your whole life is what you become really, really good at. It's what you do, what you've done your whole life. There's nothing new. It was already there. And what are you proud of? What is your biggest accomplishment? So that tells you where you are today. Yeah. Like I said, what you do, you've been doing your entire life. So what I would like to offer at this moment, if you're curious about your story, if you'd like to spend some time and sort of dive into and find out what your personal superpower is, then be welcome to contact me. Either you can contact me through WhatsApp in the community, but there's so many messages that I don't see them all the time. But send me an email or call me or find me on my website. And be welcome to, I'm giving away a gift session, and we'll have some more time to spend. And I think I might have room for 2. So I will be giving away 2 sessions. Just let me know if you're interested. And Nongnush, I want to thank you so much for your trust. And let me see if I can stop sharing. There it is. Thank you for your trust. And thank you all for holding the space to allow this story to come into bloom and to find the freedom to tell this story. Thank you so much, all of you. And now are there any questions? Anything somebody else wants to share? Anything I can help you with?
I would like to thank you again, Arabella, for the exercise that we did together. And I think that, well, anybody, if we have any questions or any questioning in our life, or just like you said, the challenge that we have, you could really help to at least, achieve that point. Like, you see, I was telling you that I struggled to feel recognized, but today I received so much. I received it so much by playing with you, and just like, it's kind of you. This is a gift from me, and thank you for that gift, actually.
You're so welcome.
very
Thank
much.
you for playing.
Yeah.
Thank you for playing.
And
You did it all.
yeah, and I think that people deserve to be like me, actually, to really reach that point
Mhm.
where you really find the answer to the struggle.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
You're welcome.
It was a very good session. Thank you so much, Arabella and Nong Nosh.
Thank you, Cardella. Thank you all for being here and joining us. Thank you so much.
Thank
Very
you.
interesting.
Thank you, Arabella.
We will
Thank you,
come.
Thank
Arabella.
you.
Thank you
Please
so much,
contact Arabella directly.
Thank you, Cardella, Kirsten.
Cardella. Thank you always.
It was
Thank
very, very insightful. Thank you.
Thank you, Yvonne.
It is, Arabella. And thank you so much. Thank you so much to Kirsten for being with us today. I know you're busy, but you take time to introduce Arabella.
Well, I wouldn't have want to miss this. It was very interesting. So thank you, Arabella, and
Thank you,
also for
Kirsten.
sharing the story. Very good. Thanks.
Well, I had a great time. I hope you all had a great time. And
We did.
Yeah.
It's just
Hopefully
a,
we'll see each other
If
again
I may
soon.
just say something, Arabella, what I
Sure.
learned from you today is the imposter syndrome. I really like that.
Mm.
That's interesting, very interesting.
And so many of us suffer from that, you know. It's
Yes.
it's not uncommon. It is
Mm.
very, very common. You know,
Mm.
a lot of the clients, a lot of the women I speak to, they do amazing work. They have great accomplishments. They're beautiful and they're successful, and they juggle a family life and a profession and a career and learning and entrepreneurship. And they still don't feel like they're actually succeeding. And it's a shame. Yeah, so that's what I love about this community, where we're all supporting each other, right? We're all lifting each other up. And Cardella is giving us this platform in order to do that. So yay for sisterhood. Never thought I'd say that, but
yes.
yay.
Yay. Thank you so much, Arabella.
Thank you.
Yeah, it is a family feeling where we don't feel, we don't need to prove ourselves. This is the important point. I
Absolutely.
mean, I can be upset. I can be, not winning something. I don't have to come all the time, this and that. And it is such an effect of the leader, because it is the sense we say what the front person does, the others get inspired.
Mhm.
So as you don't have that feeling to prove or to look big or to look, that, we feel home. I mean,
Yes.
I can tomorrow come and say, ladies, I just lost everything. I wouldn't feel shame or, this and that. So thank you so much. Thank you to be family.
Thank you so much for feeling that, Ashley, and that's what we're trying to achieve, We're all here to support each other, and that's the main thing.
Yeah. So I wish you all a great weekend and enjoy your Saturday. And thank you so much.